Hello, my name is John Vallejo, and today I will be speaking about introducing my partner Ashanti. And this year is her second year at Fresno State, and she is currently majoring in psychology. I will be talking about one of her hobbies, which is creating clothes from scratch, which I think is personally very interesting and cool. And another thing I will be discussing is her goals in life. And then I will also be talking about her childhood. First, let's discuss her hobby of creating clothes. She first began creating clothes in her sophomore year of high school. She started off by eyeballing everything, and after a while, which she told me that more recently she's now able to eye things better. So if things are 6 inches to a foot, she can tell now just by looking at it instead of having to measure everything. And she took an advanced sewing class in high school, and she told me about a time that they went on a field trip to Joann's and was able to get a template from designers, and her teacher was also a costume maker, and her classroom had everything that was needed in order to create clothes and practice. She practiced and learned and everything from that. And then she said that eventually the process itself became therapeutic, and she describes the process as fascinating because you start with a piece of fabric and then you drape it, which is the process of positioning and pinning the fabric on a dress form. Then you find the measurements for it to fit on someone or something, and then you sew it together and bring your vision to life. And she said at the moment she loves creating stacked clothing. Next, let's discuss her childhood and what that was like. She was raised in a single parent household until the age of 7, which is when her mom met her stepdad and she had a brother. Before this, her mom was a student at Fresno State while Ashanti stayed at Sacramento, which was where she lived at the time. And she moved with her mom to Fresno around the age of 4 or 5. She had a couple of people she looked up to, like her mom and her two aunts, and eventually they became an inspiration to her. Especially her mother, since she saw how strong her mom was after taking care of her, making sure she was well while also attending school. And her aunts also took care of her while she was at school. And then they became inspirational people to her. She said that she was more of an introvert in elementary school, but then joined clubs in high school, which allowed her to break out of her shell, and she became a lot more social until COVID hit. And after being shut indoors because her mother took COVID very seriously, she was stuck indoors and she became more introverted again. And she also became more anxious. Finally, we can discuss her goals in life and her short. Well, I asked her what her short term, long term, and ultimate goal in life was. Her short term goal was to increase her GPA and pass all of her classes. Her long term goal was to own 3 properties, and her ultimate goal in life is to be happy and to be 100% satisfied with herself. The reason for this is that she has always been self conscious because she cared about what others think about her. And since high school, she has experienced many things dealing with family and with life, and that put her into a deep depression. Today, I introduce all of you to Ashanti. She enjoys creating clothes, which is one of her hobbies, and then I also talked a little bit about her goals and what her childhood was like. And it was nice talking to her and getting to know her. It was a fun experience.